what they call me. Promise that.
Be careful, you'll be splicing a whole bunch of inappropriate content out. You're gonna have a YouTube
I was
version?
just thinking that. I said Dave's gonna be sitting in the chair next to me going. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the It's Steve channel. Today with me is my friend Dave, and we have known each other for about 24 years now, and we have gotten into a lot of trouble and gotten out of a lot of trouble. We've went camping in places that we shouldn't have been camping, and unfortunately it usually ends up in dividing the camp and eating all the food, and then we're pretty much left stranded.
Or making up stories.
Yeah.
Remember the raccoon ate it all?
Yeah, we blamed a lot of stuff on the raccoons. And it was a nice little campground. Well, it wasn't a campground, it was just in the middle of the woods. We had a spring that ran through it, and we put all of our tents on the one side, and then something happened. I don't know what exactly happened, but my tent ended up way over here.
You divided the camp and went to the spring. You had to be 20 feet down the road.
My tent ended up in the middle of the woods somewhere.
Because God forbid Steve couldn't walk 5 minutes.
And speaking of camping, I took the kids camping this past summer for the second time in their lives, and the first time it was absolutely horrible. It was a mess. We had so much. The kids, they lasted a whole 3 hours and then wanted to come home. And
all of them?
or Cameron. Yeah, that was the time.
Oh yeah. I remember he tried to bick my knife. He says, "Let me borrow your knife." Uses it to open a can, puts it in his pocket. I actually had to ask him for my knife back.
And then didn't he go grocery shopping the next day for like spaghetti stuff and wanted to make all this food over the
Oh yeah.
campfire? Yeah, it was a fun time.
You kept finding those albino and rare.
The salamander.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went down this one trail, and the first rock I flipped, there was a salamander right there. After that, we couldn't find any. Well, they couldn't find any, but I found a couple newts and a bunch of other stuff. And once again, the food was practically already almost gone before we even came home.
Yeah. I remember it rained a little bit too.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a storm?
Yeah, it rained for a good hour, and we kept the fire going.
That was pretty fun.
It was. Speaking of wildlife, did you see that inchworm?
Yeah, I gave it an inch, it took a mile.
Whenever we were there, it was funny because that's what we do. We search for wildlife, or the kids do. And Riley's like, Dad, there's a cricket. And I was like, where? This thing.
Really?
It was like 2.5 to 3 inches long. It was massive. I said, no, that's a grasshopper.
Are they afraid of the stuff when they're camping?
No.
Only when they're here?
Yeah, usually just when they're here. Like they don't like picking the bugs up until I pick them up, just in case they bite me first.
Speaking of, remember those wheel bugs you were telling me about?
Yeah.
When you lived in Duncansville, I was driving home one day and I saw something out of the corner of my eye, just forced me to look up. And right there on my visor, like this big, it was like looking at a giant screen because that's how close it was to my face, was a full-size wheel bug. And I almost wrecked. I couldn't get it. I was going 65 on the highway when I found it, so I couldn't mess with it.
That would have been terrifying. But that cricket that Riley found that day we went camping, she was holding it for a while. I picked it up and gave it to her. She's holding it. And then she went to go show everybody, and it bit her. Okay.
Was it visible bite?
No. It was like a pinch, and then she dropped it and then picked it back up, took it into the woods and let it go.
I was a vengeful little kid.
Yeah.
I would have stomped on it.
I wouldn't have picked it up twice. That's for sure. I would have just left it go. I'm like, nope, get out of here. I wouldn't mind getting a camper. I think that'd be fun. But I wouldn't want to tow it every time I want to go camping. I'd want to buy a piece of land and just set it there. And just leave it there. And it wouldn't be hooked up to electric or anything like that. I would just...
Well, if you have a piece of land and you're going to move a camper onto it, you might as well have a cabin.
Yeah.
Or an underground bunker.
That.
Or a tree house.
A treehouse cabin or an underground bunker would be amazing. I would love it.
Just to have like a little porta potty on top. It looks all nonchalant. No one wants to go in there because it smells like poo. You go in, press this, and maybe a little buzzer or something nonchalant. You press a button and like the toilet just lowers and staircases show themselves.
That would be cool. That'd be really cool. I was just thinking like
I know a guy that can do the floors. Reese. 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 This isn't going. How much of this video are you gonna be able to use?
Reese.
Reese. Reese. This isn't going. Reese.
Reese.
How much of this video are you gonna be able to use?
Reese.
Reese. This isn't going. How much of this video are you gonna be able to use?